Hello there, I'm Hari Zainuddin and you are now watching TVS News at 5. Let's get on with today's news. Parents in Sarawak who are still hesitant about getting the COVID-19 vaccination for their children should prioritize safety for their children in making their decision. Chief Minister Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng said, with the Omicron wave causing a spike in COVID infections, it is important to ensure that children are vaccinated.
Dan saya rasa bahawa ada juga ibu bapa yang masih lagi ragu-ragu. Kalau kita melihat bahawa setakat ini kita ada kejayaan, yang ragu-ragu ini saya harap akan menyahutlah, membenarkan anak mereka untuk disuntik. Walaupun tidak membahaya, not that severe, mengikut kajian daripada pihak pakar, tidaklah begitu mencabar, tetapi kalau boleh kita nak turunkan juga Omicron ini supaya tidak menjejaskan cara hidup kita, dan satu-satu caranya ialah kita mesti mempunyai antibody yang kuat.
Abang Johari said this after visiting the Pig Kids Vaccination Centre PPV at the Kota Sentosa Health Clinic on Saturday. Since the implementation of Pig Kids on February 3rd, some 19,430 children, or 6.8% of the 286,000 children population in Sarawak, have received their vaccines. A survey conducted by the Sarawak Health Department found that 60.3% of the 41,350 respondents from among parents in the state supported Pig Kids. However, the survey also found that 14.5% of parents were not keen in allowing their children to be vaccinated as they have concerns about complications and side effects caused by the vaccines.
Now, Sarawak has been chosen for the first time to host the CITRAWARNA KELUARGA Malaysia 2022 program. Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri said, Sarawak's rich diversity and culture is a tourism draw for both domestic and international tourists.
Bukan kerana saya orang Sarawak, sebab saya Menteri untuk Malaysia. Namun begitu kerana Sarawak tidak ada peluang sebelum ini. Jadi ini merupakan kali pertama Sarawak dipilih menjadi tuan rumah CITRAWARNA. Sudah tentu kita melihat pemilihan ini adalah bertepatan sekali kerana Sarawak mempunyai pelbagai suku kaum dan etnik yang bersesuaian untuk diketengahkan kepada seluruh keluarga Malaysia di negara kita. Dan kalau kita selalu dengar Sarawak mempunyai 27 etnik besar, ada lagi sub-etnik setakat ini, mempunyai bahasa, kebudayaan dan cara kehidupan masing-masing sudah pasti menarik perhatian pengunjung domestik dan juga antarabangsa. Sebenarnya ramai orang kita sendiri di Sarawak ini sendiri masih belum mempelopori Sarawak, negeri Sarawak sendiri. Jadi dari situ kita dapat melihat keharmonian, perpaduan dan integrasi nasional yang boleh diangkat sebagai elemen kebudayaan dalam mempromosikan keunikan Malaysia di mata dunia.
She said this during an exclusive interview with TVS for the Sejahtera Asia program on Saturday morning. Nancy added that the event will be held not only to enhance Sarawak's economic activities, but also to promote Kuching as a creative and gastronomic city at the UNESCO level, and also as a world craft city.
The government of Sarawak is committed to attaining its vision of achieving 100% utility coverage in Sarawak by 2025. To meet this goal, the government has approved an allocation of 180 million ringgit for 3 main programs under the 12th Malaysia Plan. Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications, Datuk Julaihi Narawi said the 3 projects are grid connection for existing Sarawak Alternative Rural Electrification Scheme or SARES, replacement of batteries and key components for standalone solar systems, and also additional or late applicant funds or ALAF projects.
Elaborating further, Julaihi said the ALAF project aims at supplying electricity to approximately 17,000 households throughout the state.
As of the end of 2021, electricity supply coverage for Sarawak is 98.6%. The urban areas have full coverage, while the coverage in the rural areas is about 96.5%. The remaining 3.5%, inshallah, will be achieved, hopefully, by the year 2025.
July, he said this while speaking at the Ministry of Utilities and Telecommunications Majlis Amanat in conjunction with the Chinese New Year 2022 celebration at Borneo Convention Center, Kuching on Friday night. He added that in line with the state's vision of becoming a high-income state by the year 2030, his ministry will be undertaking the generation, transmission, and distribution network development to provide sufficient energy capacity to support the state's growth and development. The project for this network development are streamlined with the post-COVID-19 Development Strategy PCDS 2030.
Water is vital for all known forms of life, thus no one should be denied from getting sufficient water supply. There has been a challenge to close the gap on water supply between the urban and rural areas in Sarawak. Thus, Utilities and Telecommunications Minister Datuk Julaihi Norawi said the government has allocated 8.26 billion ringgit to ensure 100% water supply coverage throughout Sarawak.
As of the end of 2021, our overall water supply coverage is about 83.4%. We managed to supply 99% coverage in the urban areas. However, our rural water supply coverage is only up to now is 66.5%. That is why, under the 12th Malaysia Plan, our ministry has embarked on the implementation of statewide water grid to ensure the provision of reliable, sustainable, and resilient water supply to the people of Sarawak for the long term. As of now, Ringgit Malaysia 8.26 billion has been allocated for the implementation of 616 water supply projects, including Project Rakyat. The government has approved an allocation of Ringgit Malaysia 4.7 billion in 2022 for the implementation of various programs for water supply projects throughout the state.
July, he said, for remote areas which are not accessible by roads, the ministry had initiated the Sarawak Alternative Water Supply or SAWAS program to provide safe and clean water to those living in rural areas. July, he also stated that as of now, 183 water supply projects had been completed, and out of the 123 ongoing projects, 59 projects are making good progress. However, July, he also noted that currently there are 64 projects which are already delayed or classified as sick projects, but he assured that they will be given closer attention by his ministry. So far, he said a total of 4 billion ringgit has been allocated to his ministry for the development of water supply projects.
Many of these projects are expected to be completed by the year 2022. I would like to emphasize that we should ensure that all the ongoing projects will be completed successfully as planned, on time. This is crucial as all of these projects are to address the issue in the stress areas. By addressing the issues in the stress area, we hope it will reduce the complaint from the rakyat.
The Ministry of Utilities and Telecommunications target to achieve 100% water supply coverage throughout the state by 2025.
Welcome back. A floating body found at Sungai Ipar Semop in Serike was confirmed to be that of a missing crew member of a vessel that sank on Thursday. The finding was confirmed by the deceased family.
The victim is identified as 61-year-old Lim Fang, who hails from Jalan Masjid Baru in Sarike. The body was discovered by members of the public at Sungai Ipar Semop around 5:10 p.m. on Friday and was later handed over to the police for further action. In the tragedy that happened past midnight early on Thursday, a cargo vessel carrying heavy machinery sank at Batang, Serdang. At the time, 3 men were on board and 2 had gone missing, while the skipper was rescued by a passing boatman around 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. Another crew member was saved earlier by the nearby villages around 8:30 a.m. on Thursday.
Wrapping up the 5 p.m. news, a lorry driver died after the lorry he was driving in was involved in a self-accident and overturned at Jalan Betong Serike on Saturday. The 9:20 a.m. incident caused the deceased to be pinned under the lorry's cabin, and he was pronounced dead by medical personnel.
According to the Fire and Rescue Department Bomba Betong Chief Vincent Bawingyabi, the Bomba rescue team took around 20 minutes to extricate the 39-year-old victim.
Jadi dengan kekuatan anggota 8 orang yang diketuai oleh Pegawai Bomba Kanan 2, Jusmandi bin Jama'i, tiba di lokasi mendapati sebuah lori muatan 10 tan berada dalam keadaan terbalik setelah terlibat dalam kemalangan kendiri. Mangsa ini adalah seorang lelaki berusia 39 tahun dan didapati tersepit di bawah lori menyebabkan kerja-kerja menyelamat agak sukar.
Bomba also enlisted the assistance of a backhoe from a nearby road construction site to lift the lorry during the extrication work. The body was later handed over to the police for further action. It was understood that the lorry was coming from Sarike towards Sri Aman before the accident happened. Vincent advised other road users to be vigilant to avoid similar untoward incidents from happening.
Dalam tempoh seminggu ini saja terdapat 2 kemalangan jalan raya di kawasan Pen Borneo lah yang berlaku. Jadi saya minta kita mohonlah agar pengguna jalan raya berhati-hatilah, terutama bagi di kawasan yang masih ada lencongan dan juga apabila hari hujan lah jalan boleh menjadi licin.
That will be all the time that we have for the 5 p.m. news for today. Once again, I'm Hari Zainuddin. It's been a pleasure.